Hey, good morning. This is Julie, October 30th, 7:23 a.m. Take a look at the calendar real quick. Overnight, we had some bad news out of Europe. German retail sales really hitting the skids. And French consumer spending is at zero, which is not good for the European economy at all. So I'm seeing some deflation of the momentum perhaps coming into our markets. We've got core PCE price index, but at 8:45 Chicago PMI, 9 o'clock FOMC member speaks, and then we've got Michigan consumer expectations. So overall, I'm not seeing a very strong push in the markets for momentum. And let me show you the big momentum. It's coming off in NASDAQ. We're at the top of this market. We hit our double top. And now we're coming back in a little bit. Momentum's declining. And you can see the momentum decline right here. So we're pushing up for our last kiss of these previous of the current VWAP previous point of control area. I'm going to be looking to short this somewhere around 46.7650 to 46.80. I'm going to try to find myself a way to get in on a momentum reversal here, and I'm going to trade back down to these previous levels, 46.50. So that would be a good location to put a tight stop in above this pivot high, or maybe above this previous volume point of control. So that's how I use these market profile levels on my MP lines indicator. You can tuck your stop behind these previous levels, including the value area highs and lows on your cloud. You can tuck stops behind that instead of just a pivot, which will always get taken out. You know, the market knows where these pivot points are. So better, safer to go behind another level versus just a tick above a pivot. And you can probably stay in a trade. So I'm going to be looking for a reversal somewhere around here. If this reverses here and starts pushing down, then price is really rejecting. And I'll be much more excited about this also. So you can't time the reversals so much. I'm just looking for a good place to get a reversal going because of this downward momentum on the NQ. So look for a place to get short as a trade plan for the NQ for me today. So let's look over at the crude. And I'm not, suggesting that anyone pattern themselves off of my trade plan. I'm just talking out loud about how I see the market and what I'm going to do with my volume profile levels and various ways to bend price to capture an entry or an exit. And folks, I'm glad that I use my own methodology. I'm not out there looking at other people's websites, or I do look at other people's videos for trading for how they trade and how they set up their trades, especially if they're using wrinkle bars. But It's all about momentum for me, momentum and slope. And I really recommend that you look at William Blau's work on that. And I will show you the best place on the internet. Right here, mql5.com, and you can look at his indicators and trading systems described without having to buy the book. I've bought the book, I have it on my Kindle, I read it all the time. And if you just understand the concept of how price moves in relationship to momentum, slope, and finding these trend reversal points using momentum, and then you combine this knowledge with market profile levels, you don't need order flow. You don't need to be looking at a volume ladder or a price ladder or a GOM ladder, which just prints the data between the bid and the ask. I mean, if you have a 300 to 100 numerator denominator, that helps, but you want the momentum. You have to understand the core principles behind this, knowing when to fade levels, knowing when to watch for a breakout. And again, on crude, we've got a poopy diaper candle setting up and lower momentum. We're not getting that second momentum push. We're getting the momentum failing. That European numbers really just took the air out of the market again. So I would expect to see these POCs retested. And if we can't get buyers stepping in to the market and it starts breaking down past this prior point of control, it's going to be testing these lower value areas. So that's where you trade to. So it's already retested the value high of yesterday and it's pulling back. See, we've already got our momentum shift in the crude. So these market profile lines, you can set them up using the previous value areas as guidelines to set your stops. I use the 30-minute or 60-minute also to give me a tighter intraday time period to trade and try to get myself positioned in the right direction using momentum, slope. Everything about me is with this mom slope, I tell you what. And getting on the right side of these trades. The only thing you don't want is this sideways market action. And when it starts printing sideways, the only thing you can do is buy the bottom or sell the top. And if you find yourself in getting bounced around, just get out in the middle, mitigate your loss on that. But so here we came right to the VWAP and are starting to bounce. Do you see how the market bounces immediately on that level? So here we have a previous point of control and a current VWAP, and we're bouncing. So it'll probably come up here, test these prior points of control, and then make its mind up from here if it's going to go down or if we get buyers stepping in to push it back up. So we're at a pivotal moment and a good location for a trade decision. But since we're so close to the open, we're at 7:30, this likely could stay in this sideways chop for a while until the open. Here is the level here. Here's the previous or the developing point of control. Our current developing point of control is the dashed line, and the algos are tied to these also. So find the levels that you like. People use floor pivots, people use previous high and low, obviously, for support resistance, but find your intraday support resistance levels and see if the market responds to those levels. And then you know that you can take a trade at that location. When you're using market profile, you have various ways to trade it relative to the previous value or the previous 3 value periods. If you get a push out of a 3 period value area, that's huge. That's when you want to, go with the most profits potential, because you're pushing out of a 3 period value area. So here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. We're all sitting inside the same range. So if you want to put a range box around your chart to know where you are, and say if I break out of this range, I'm going to go with that direction. Otherwise, it's just rotational up and down inside this range, and I will trade the momentum slope inside it if it is sloping. If it's going sideways, you can't do much with that. So take a look at your world. Where are you compared to the previous value? Where are you compared to the previous VWAP, the current VWAP, the previous point of control? The point of control and VWAP are not the same. You can set your MP lines indicator to be a true volume chart versus VWAP. And that's what this setting is on volume. So you see the current developing point of control is on volume, and I also have VWAP. So and it's coming right down to this volume low at 46.79. So if you want to take a scalp on that, you have to put your you have to tuck your stop behind the previous level that you're trading to a level. We might get some resistance here at this developing point of control, and we're in the middle of the middle of the middle, which is not a great location to launch a trade from. So this looks like it could be a retracement trade entry place, so I'm going to probably take this off. But that's what you do when you trade. Take that off. So find a level to get involved and pick a target. And use momentum and slope to trade in that direction with a higher time frame trend. And ideally, you can pull up a chart that is trending all in the same direction, like the bonds or the gold this morning, versus a mixed market that's just trading inside value, inside value, inside value. So I hope that's helpful for you. My goal is to assist other traders and use our own analysis and our own strategies, and not allow others to come in and try to sell our own products. Don't resell my products. Buy my products and use my products. Don't buy my products and put them on the market as your own. Thank you so much.